All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for as they come to you from the Circuit of the Americas. Nick Sorensen and Max Gunther will start on the front row. Adam Barker, Janet Gunther have the second row. Simon Zierk, Ronnie Wimberly starts on the third row. Jason Miller, Mike Dolling on the fourth. Ronald Maynard and Mark Dantuma rounding out the top 10. Remember, 2 races to go this morning. The second race will be an invert of the top 7 that will have their starting positions. Don't forget to hit the like button, follow us. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the races coming up, any of the in-car streams coming up. We might have a few this week in-car. Plus, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep abreast of all the upcoming events, as XCal's massive whale PD is coming in the next few weeks, and you're not going to want to miss out on that. Thousands of dollars in prizes and cash will be awarded during the course of that event. Just about all the drivers on the grid. Porsche pace car getting ready to lead them around, and looks like they are rolling. Jason Miller does not take to the grid. We'll see if Jason starts from pit road here. It's going to move one driver up in the left lane, and I do believe that is going to be Ronald Maynard pulling up a couple of spots. Last few turns. This is that tight section of track where that Porsche acceleration and cornering really pays off here. Coming through these tight turns toward the start is going to help warm those tires up. Very slow section of track, though. Several points in that section of track, they'll be down into first gear. Nick following the Porsche pace car around. Pace car getting ready to pull off. There goes the pace car as they head toward that final turn. And that pit road entry will come into play in the second race, but Sorensen fires. They are underway at Circuit of the Americas. Sorensen gets to the high side as the green drops. Off toward that tricky turn number 1, up the hill, big brakes, hard left-hand turn, and back down the hill. Everybody makes it through clean. Down toward the S is Sorensen trying to get out front and pull away quick and early. Max Gunther holds on in second. Everybody snaking through the S's right now. Ronnie Wimberly already picking up a spot back up in the top 5. Great to see Ronnie back out and doing well early. Check out Ronnie's Twitch channel, Quad Racing. You definitely want to check this guy out. He is amazing. Does every race using only his... Oh! Ronnie's around! Everybody gets by clean, but Ronnie Wimberly's losing a ton of spots, and it looks like Mike Dolling involved. I think Mike may have just had to come to a complete stop to avoid him. Heartbreak for Ronnie early. Just a little too much throttle through that turn. Nick Sorensen still at the front. Max Gunther right on his back bumper. Here comes Adam Barker and Janet Gunther. Simon Zierk now back in 5th. Mike Dolling up picking up a couple of spots into 6th. Ronald Maynard in the Audi in 7th. And Mark Dantumel on the move in 8th. The top 3 locked in close. Janik right there with them as well. As they come back toward the start-finish line, complete the first lap. Lap times for these top 5 were so close in practice, or top 4 rather, were so close in practice and qualifying. This is going to be a non-stop battle in that top group. Jason Miller is rolling off pit road now. However, he is coming out late, 1 lap down at the moment. Simon Zierk currently runs in 5th. Mike Dolling starting to close in just a little bit in 6th place. Maynard in 7th seems to be handling the Audi very well, despite what some of the other drivers were talking about that car this morning. He is doing a great job with it. Mark Dantuma back in 8th place, already picking up a couple of spots here early. Little wiggle out of the back end as he comes through turn 11 and down that long straightaway. This is the section of track that the Porsche definitely has the advantage, as it has the better cornering and the better acceleration off the turn, but the BMW of Adam Barker is trying to get to 2nd place. Interesting note here is in the points, Adam Barker is 1st, Max Gunther is 2nd, Nick Sorensen is 3rd, but on track it's reversed at the moment, with Sorensen in the lead, Gunther in 2nd, Barker in 3rd. Janik losing a little bit of ground on the top 3. He is back in 4th place. BMW has a bit of an advantage on the longer straightaways just due to the higher top and the more power. Note that there is not a Mercedes in the field this morning, because while the Mercedes would have the massive straightaway advantage, that final section of track and those tight turns, it would lose everything it gained and more. Simon Zierk back in 5th, Mike Dolling in 6th. Dolling has been closing in on Simon since the drop of the green flag, now just 0.7 of a second behind. Mike definitely on the charge this morning. As they head towards turn 11, a lot of drivers, for me personally, turn 11 is the worst turn on this track, but several of the drivers saying no, that was one of the few turns that some of them liked. Dolling able to drive a little bit deeper into turn 12 as they accelerate back up and now into that tight section of track. Adam Barker still trying to find a way around Max Gunther. Janik just sends it deep into the turn there. He is caught right back up to the top 3. Meanwhile, Nick Sorensen has started to open up a gap. His lead now 2.6 seconds. 2nd through 4th still nose to tail, but man, Sorensen already checking out. He said he knew he was close in points. So coming in today, he looked at official races, saw which car was the fastest, and decided to run that one. Normally, we would see him in a Mercedes. In fact, this is only the second race this season that we have seen Nick in a Porsche. The first one was at Motegi. Mark Dantuma has had a problem back behind. Oh, Mark just loses the back. He gets on the throttle a little too soon and goes around. Jason Miller slipping by. Jason still a lap down, but is starting to make some headway. Jason's last lap was actually as fast as Max Gunther's last lap. Be interesting to see in race 2 if he takes to the grid. Can he keep up, and can he start making his way up through the field? Jason comes into the 8th in points behind Matt Baer by 1 point. He'll pick up 7th as Matt Baer not here this morning. Could make up some ground on Mike Doling as well if he can beat him in race 2. Meanwhile, Nick Sorensen out front continue to extend his lead over Max Gunther. Adam Barker sitting in 3rd. Adam was all over Max's back bumper at certain parts of the track, but through this tight final section, that Porsche just pulls away, also giving Janik an opportunity to get to Adam's back bumper. As they head through that final turn and up toward the start-finish line, and you can see that Max just gets a better run out of the turn, but now the BMW's power advantage comes into play as they head towards turn 1 uphill. The Porsche does seem to have a problem through here. It does not like the S's. It seems to have a pendulum effect as it tries to swing through the S's, and that is the one part of the track where the other cars definitely have an advantage. The BMW gets through those S's so much better, able to swing, as Adam Barker makes a move to the inside for 2nd. There you saw Adam just has the advantage through the S's, and now Max is going to cross back over. Max hops back into the slipstream as they head down toward the tight section where that Porsche has the advantage. Can he make something happen? Adam drops to the bottom as they go toward the turn. He's going to make, oh, Max outbrakes him. They're going to go into the turn side by side. Adam pulls ahead, but now Max has the inside line. Adam goes deeper. And Janik now comes into play. Adam's still ahead, but barely, and now Janik looks to the inside on Max. Adam still holds on to 2nd, opens up a car length or 2. Oh, Max goes way wide, opens the door. Here comes Janik. And it looks like Max may have gotten a slow down penalty here. That was a big concern coming into this morning, is those off tracks causing slowdowns. Almost every driver in the field, in fact, every driver in the field at this point has had at least one off track as Max and Janik go at it. Team Gunther currently sits 3rd and 4th. While they battled, Adam was able to pull away by 1.5 seconds, but has gained no ground on the leader, Nick Sorensen, who now has a 6.6 second lead. Mike Dolling appears to be having some connection issues. He has gone past Simon Zierk for the moment. But they continue to battle it out. That is for 5th place. Mike currently in 5th, Simon currently in 6th. Adam Barker in 2nd place, still unable to close in on Nick Sorensen. Max Gunther and Janet Gunther continue to be nose to tail. Looks like they have settled in a little bit, stopped battling each other, and are trying to reel Adam back in. And Nick Sorensen still way out front. As he comes towards the start-finish line, his lead now 6.8 seconds. Gets a little wide there through the final turn. Nick did say the trick this morning would be to keep it on track. Currently only has 2 off tracks versus Adam Barker with 8, Max Gunther with 9, and Janet Gunther with 9. Track limits a big concern here this morning. Ronald Maynard, the lone Audi in the field, currently running laps on par with with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. He might be a force to be reckoned with in the 2nd race. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of the drivers saying the Audi ill-suited for this track, but I think Ronald is proving that theory wrong. Sorensen continuing to dominate, lead now 7.5 seconds over Adam Barker. Max Gunther currently holds 3rd and Janik in 4th. A bit of a spread now after the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Looks like they have spread out just a little bit here. Interesting note, the track temperature rather low this morning. As you see, the track temperature is just 74 degrees. Air temperature 65 degrees, and pretty cool for Austin, Texas. Nick Sorensen continues to pull away. As they run now, he'll have to start race number 2 from 7th. He's going to have to come through the field, but given how fast he has been so far this morning, he is going to be tough to beat. Mike Dolling currently running in 5th, starting to open up a bit of a gap on Simon Zierk in 6th. Worth noting that Ronald Maynard, while 20 seconds back, is actually gaining on the 3 cars in front of him. Fastest lap of the morning does go to Nick Sorensen so far. Also heard the drivers talking about their fast laps here, 2:04.12. That is Nick Sorensen's fastest lap so far. I heard him talking about in officials this week. They saw a guy qualify at 2:01 and run race laps in the 2:02, 2:03 range. Be interesting to see if any, and it was a little bit cooler track temperature. Be interesting to see if these guys can get anywhere close, if Sorensen can get down in the 2:03 mark. Mark Dantuma currently back in 8th place. Mark's first race back since Road Atlanta. He's going to pick up a lot of points positions. Comes into this morning in 22nd. Will hop into the top 20 easily. Depending on how he finishes race 2, could break into the top 15 this morning. Nick Sorensen coming through that final tight section of track. Now has an 8 1/4 second lead over Adam Barker. Max Gunther closing back in on Adam now. Looks like Max may have slowed down for a lap or two to let the tires cool off a hair and has cranked it back up. Janik currently running back in 4th, 2.5 seconds behind that battle. Mike Doling back in 5th. Simon Zierk is starting to close back in on Doling as well. Maynard back in 7th. Mark Dantuma in 8th. Jason Miller in 9th. Ronnie Wimberly went to pit road. Hopefully we'll see him back for the second race. Sorensen a huge lead. Max doing everything he can to close that gap on Adam Barker now. Remember, Adam comes into the morning with the points lead over Max. 28 points is that lead, so every point is going to count right now. Max slinging that Porsche into the S's. Down through turn 11, onto that long straightaway. Adam's got a gap now. Mike Doling is 0.6 of a second over Simon Zierk. Simon's still trying to close that gap up as well. The battle for second is on as they come around the final time. And Nick Sorensen way out front. And here comes Nick through the final turn. He is going to win race number 1. Adam Barker and Max Gunther battling through the final turn. Adam Barker is going to come home in second. Max Gunther finishing third in race number 1. Now the top 7 will invert. Ronald Maynard in the Audi will start on the pole for race number 2. Let's talk to our top 3. Hey Max, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, that looked like quite a battle between you and Janik and Adam there for a bit.
Yeah, it was really nice. I like battling Adam and Yannick.
It looked like you guys were definitely sending it around. You guys were pushing the track limits every single lap there for a while.
Yeah, the track limits are really, really hard on that track. So the second race is gonna be really hard to keep it within the black flag limit, which is gonna be really hard, I
It
think.
does look like a few of you got pretty close to that black flag limit.
Yeah, it's that the track limits are really hard.
Well, man, that was a great first race. Good luck in the second race, and quite a show you guys put on so far.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
All right, Max Gunther comes home in third. Adam Barker finishing second. Hey, Adam, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey Doug, how we doing?
Hey, good. Man, that as I was talking to Max a moment ago, you guys put on one heck of a show there.
Yeah, we were really going at it. I definitely brought my my scuba gear to dive it down the inside and anywhere. Um, I was trying to send it wherever I could. If I got a run, I was going to get it. So
I have to say, man, that was quite a show, and yeah, we did see you drove it way deep into a few of those turns. How you made it stick, especially through that last section with the tight turns, knowing the Porsche would have the advantage there, was pretty impressive to keep the car out front.
yeah, Porsche turns like quick compared to the BMW, but I just managed to hook up one of the constant S's just a little bit better than Max one time, and just I saw I had a run, and I wasn't planning on taking it down there. I was probably going to draft him into the next corner, but I saw I had an opportunity, and I just had to take it.
I do have to ask, we talked about this in practice, but what sound does the Porsche make?
It reads.
And what does the Mercedes say?
That one. Mercedes. Brr.
All right, so now you guys have to come through traffic. Obviously, you had quite a run through traffic and got a lot of battling, but there was you guys really pushed the off-track limits there. Are you worried about black flags in race 2?
Well, I think I was on 12, so doing pretty well. So if I did that again, I'd just be okay, because we got an incident limit of 26. But I think everyone's got their eye in now, so we know where the track limits are. It's going to be interesting to see what the tyres are like after the end of this, because my fronts were screaming a little bit.
I can imagine they were. Great run, Adam. Great job this morning. Good luck in race 2.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's see if we can talk to our winner, Nick Sorensen. Hey, Nick, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's up?
Hey, man. Dominant win there. I think at last time I looked, it was over 8 seconds.
Yep, about 8 seconds there. All had a big lead and tried to keep it consistent.
It's interesting watching your laps. You were one of the ones with the lower incident and off-track count there, but going into the second race, you're gonna have to fight your way from 7th place. How are you feeling about your chances with that?
It's going to be tough because there's not a lot of good passing spots here, unless you dive it into turn 1 or maybe down the backstretch. But that's tough. So yeah, it's going to be tough getting through the traffic for sure.
It was interesting to see. Heard some of the drivers talk about the Porsche really struggled through the S's, has that pendulum effect. But we watched the Gunther family come through there, and we saw a little bit of that. But it seemed like you were able to make it through the S's flat. Were you backing up the S section at all?
Yeah, you have to just progressively slow your throttle input and brake input on each S, basically, to keep it smooth through there. So yeah, you can't just go flat. You gotta really modulate.
Well, it seemed to work, man. That was a dominant win, and good luck coming through the traffic in race 2.
All right, thanks, Doug.
So Nick Sorensen definitely closing up the gap on Max Gunther and Adam Barker this morning with the win. Taking a quick look here. He'll actually just be 3 points behind Max. Actually, less than that. Now, 3 points behind Max Gunther after that race, and closes the gap quite a bit on Adam Barker as the drivers get ready for race number 2. As always, if you have a favorite driver, make sure you drop in the comments. Let them know you're cheering for him. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let them know you're watching this morning. "30 seconds left to go, then we're going racing again." Looks like Adam Barker was practicing for the pit stops here at the end of the warm-up. Alright, on to race number 2. The top 7 inverted, putting Ronald Maynard on the front row with Simon Zierk. Mike Dolling and Janet Gunther on the second row. Max Gunther and Adam Barker have the third row. Nick Sorensen starts in 7th after winning race 1. Mark Dantuma in 8th. Jason Miller starts 9th. Ronnie Wimberly in 10th. Would love to see Ronnie get back up there into the fight this morning. Ronnie actually is, when they go to the Nürburgring, to the Nordschleife, Ronnie is tough to beat there. If you've ever watched on his channel of quad racing, he races anything and everything at the Nürburgring and dominates when he does. Everybody getting lined up, ready to go, waiting on Ronald Maynard and Ronnie Wimberly. Hopefully both drivers will grid. Really looking forward to seeing what Maynard can do starting up front, but neither driver does. So Ronald Maynard and Ronnie Wimberly at best will be starting from pit road. Now Simon Zierk and Mike Dolling will have the front row. "40 minutes to go." They will have to make a pit stop during this for fuel. You heard him say tire. We have not seen anybody make a tire change throughout this whole season, unless they were in for repairs, which could be is a possibility as these drivers try and fight their way from the back to the front. Drivers to keep an eye on: Nick Sorensen, Adam Barker coming from the back after the top 2 finish, but Jason Miller right behind them in that green and blue Porsche was quite fast in that first race, but started from the pits and way behind. It'll be interesting to see how he does against these guys, and obviously pit stops could play a big factor here. The Porsche pace car is on pit road. Dolling leads them down. They fire. They are away. Zierk gets a good jump. Green flag in the air. They're 3 wide up front already. Look at Janik. He looked to the inside. Janik's still fighting on the inside. He's going for second. Look at Barker. They're going to go into the S's 3 wide. Max go. Oh, we've got cars going around. Adam Barker manages to avoid it. Oh, Janik hits the bump. Ouch. Janik manages to hold on to it. Adam Barker back in third, but Janik making a slowdown. Mike Doling now looking for a fight with Adam Barker, but Nick Sorensen up to 5th already. Mark Dantuma now up into 6th. Jason Miller in 7th. Max Gunther all the way back in 8th. Let's watch that start again with Max and see what the heck happened. Back that up just a little bit. Yannick to the inside. It looks like Doling moved up to make sure him and Yannick didn't get together. And then we saw let's watch the move by Yannick again here. Adam Barker's save there is the stuff of legend, and Yannick just gets that curbing, jumps the car, but manages to keep it going and makes the slowdown work. After that, Yannick fell way back. Looks like after he took his slowdown penalty, several drivers able to slip by on the slowdown. He is now back in 7th. Max is back in 8th. Max already on pit road. Looks like Max does have some damage. He's going to go in and get repaired. Can he get enough fuel here early to make it work the rest of the way, though? Meanwhile, Simon Zierk way out front already, up by 2.5 seconds over Mike Doling. Adam in 3rd. Now Nick Sorensen up in 4th. Sorensen on the move quickly here. Adam Barker trying to find his way back past Mike Doling now. Mark Dantuma has made his way up into 5th, but there's quite a battle going on here. Here comes Yannick on the inside. Jason Miller looks low. Mark got too deep into turn 11. Mark Dantuma goes from 5th to 7th in one turn. Yannick on his way back toward the front. Max is back out off of pit road, but way behind. Simon Zierk's lead now just 2.5 seconds. There's quite a battle. Mike Doling, Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen. The battle for second, like race 1, second place has been the most contested battle all morning long. Back down the front straightaway, everybody knows to tail. Turn 1 could be the point. Adam Barker makes a move to the inside as they head towards turn 1. You heard him talk about diving that car in race 1. He dives it into turn 1 this time. Doling not giving up yet, though. Doling one of the best in defending his positions. Adam just keeps driving deeper. How he pulled that off is beyond me. Great run by Adam Barker to reclaim second place. Doling now in 3rd. Sorensen lurks behind in 4th. Mike Doling has the fastest lap of the race so far, but Nick Sorensen, who had the fastest lap in practice, or in the race, in race 1 and in qualifying, has not had clean air yet. Sorensen right on Doling's bumper. Does he make the move as they go into the final section of track, where the Porsche definitely has the advantage? Doling taking a little bit of a different angle through turn 12. Doling is loose. He goes wide. Sorensen slips by into third. Mike Dolling back to fourth, and now he's got a lot of ground to make up. That's the first time we have seen somebody slide through there this morning. Gotta wonder, let's check the track temperature. Track temperature has gone down from race 1. Simon Zierk still way out front. Adam Barker in second. Although Adam has the most off tracks right now, he's going to have to be careful. Obviously, lap 1 having an impact this morning. Sorensen back in third. Now Clara Dolling sets his sights on Adam Barker. Although this is the part of the track that the BMW has the advantage. Nick just flying through here as he continues to try and close the gap. Mark Dantuma still rolling back in 7th place, trying to close the gap on Jason Miller. Jason having a great run again here in 6th place. Janik now back up into 5th and sets his sights on Mike Dolling. I think Dolling might actually have a little bit of damage on the nose of that car. He didn't touch anybody that we saw. Looks fairly minor. Might have been through that lap 1 incident. No damage to the splitter, but the nose does look a little scratched up there. Adam Barker just set the fastest lap of the race last time by, but here comes Nick Sorensen as they go off into the final turn. Sorensen right on Barker's back bumper here. Will he make the dive move into turn 1? And they are closing in on Simon Zierk as here comes Sorensen. Doesn't have the momentum at the top of the hill. Oh! Simon Zierk has a problem through turn 1. Adam Barker comes by. Nick Sorensen's going to come by. Let's see what happened to Simon. Gets to the top of the hill, just gets loose. Slides it out of turn 1. Adam Barker barely able to cut down. Simon managing to hold on to 2nd place for the moment. Sorensen unable to get by. Now Adam Barker is out front, has pulled away by 1 1/4 seconds. Simon Zierk came into this morning 4th in points. As they run now, he would make up a lot of ground on Max Gunther, who is currently 3rd. Max just set the fastest lap. He is getting faster and faster after going to pit road. One more lap. Simon Zierk still in 2nd place, but Nick Sorensen closes in as they go toward the final turn. Back up the hill. Sorensen looks to the inside, a little bobble, but he keeps his foot in it. It's a drag race down the front straightaway. Sorensen waits, breaks the latest, and gets into second place as they come through turn 1. Adam Barker still out front, has a 1.8 second lead, but now Sorensen, who dominated race 1, had an 8-second lead at the end of a 20-minute race, now closing in on Barker. Simon Zierk holding on to third. Mike Dolling and Yannick Gunther fourth and fifth, closing the gap. Dolling now 2 seconds behind Simon Zierk, continuing to close in. After the earlier incident, slipping back into fourth place, he is on the move. Yannick staying right in his slipstream for the moment. Max Gunther after that. There's Max. Max, after that first that lap 1 incident, went to pit road, got repairs, is back out 8th place, but we do not know if he took on enough fuel on that stop. It is unlikely he got enough fuel to make it to the end on that lap 1 stop. So he will still have to make another stop, but he is closing in on Mark Dantuma in 7th place. Meanwhile, Adam Barker's lead is shrinking rapidly. Here comes Sorensen. Simon Zierk in third, sees his gap shrinking as Mike Dolling is closing in. Yannick still right with Dolling in 5th place. Jason Miller having a great run in 6th. Mark Dantuma currently sits in 7th. Max Gunther back in 8th after the lap 1 incident. Ronald Maynard and Ronnie Wimberly did not take to the grid for race 2, and Sorensen has caught Barker's back bumper. Both drivers in the top 3 in points came into this morning separated by just 36 points. Could easily see that gap close. Sorensen, with that win earlier, made up a few points already this morning. The BMW has been fastest through the first section of track, but the second half of the track definitely goes to the Porsche, and Sorensen has figured the whole thing out this morning. Sorensen just set the fastest lap of the morning, and it was half a second faster than Adam Barker's fastest lap. There you see the gap between Barker and Sorensen. You see Sorensen has been the faster of the two. And Sorensen just all over the back bumper. Simon Zierk back in third as Mike Doling and Yannick Gunther have caught back up. Doling starting to look for a move back into third place here. As they come through the final turn, he's going to cut it inside. He's got to run down to the inside. Yannick's going to try and make it 3 wide. They're going to go 3 wide towards turn 1. Doling has the advantage at the moment. It's going to be who outbreaks who. Yannick sends it deepest. Yannick's got the inside line. He goes from 5th to 3rd in 1 turn. Doling to 4th. Simon Zierk slips back into 5th. What a move by Yannick Gunther. He sent it deep into that turn. Oh, Doling sends it deep into the turn, almost getting into the back bumper of Yannick Gunther as they go through turn 11. Back up front, Sorensen and Barker still battle. Multiple battles going on track right now. Sorensen giving Barker a little bit of room here. Doling looks back to the inside on Yannick. Doling all over that back bumper. Doling has got to be happy with this run here this morning. He is flying. Simon Zierk staying right in their tire tracks, currently in 5th. Max Gunther, meanwhile, has gotten past Mark Dantuma, now back up into 7th. Sets his sights on Jason Miller. Jason 15 seconds ahead. And Jason is actually gaining on Simon Zierk at the moment. Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen come through the S's once again. The BMW has the advantage there, but nobody told Nick Sorensen as he closes the gap again. Both drivers definitely testing the track limits here this morning. Yannick still holds 3rd, but Doling still on the back bumper. Simon Zierk just waiting for either of them to make a mistake here. Doling has been driving deeper into the turns every single time they come down towards turn 12. Gets right to the back bumper, doesn't touch, but man, Doling doing everything he can. Wow. Talk about close. And Nick Sorensen has gotten by for the lead as Adam Barker has had a problem. There they were, side by side. Oh, Adam just gets loose. Sorensen tries to check up, but doesn't have anywhere to go. Adam recovers quickly, but Sorensen has claimed the lead. And quickly opens up a big 3-second lead over Adam Barker. That also allowed Yannick Gunther, Mike Doling, and Simon Zierk to close in. Yannick just 2.4 seconds behind. Last time by, Yannick was the fastest car on track. Just past the halfway point, nobody has made their fuel stop yet. Max Gunther did have that stop on lap 1. He has managed to get by Mark Dantuma, get back up into 7th. And he is closing in on Jason Miller in 6th place, but still 11.5 seconds behind him. Mark Dantuma currently back in 8th place as he comes through the S's. Jason Miller was gaining on Simon Zierk there for the longest time, got within 10 seconds, but is now losing ground. Simon in 5th place, still trying to stay with Mike Doling and Yannick Gunther. And Yannick is closing in on Adam Barker. That gap now down to 1.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Nick Sorensen out front by 4.7 seconds, continuing to extend his lead. He won race number 1. Adam Barker is the first to make his fuel stop. Adam Barker is in. Jason Miller is coming in as well. The question is, will Max Gunther need a fuel stop? Likely will. I don't think he could have gotten enough fuel packed in on lap 1. And he definitely has not been conserving fuel at all this morning. Sorensen's lead now 6.5 seconds over Yannick and Doling. Simon Zierk still right there with him. Max now scored in 5th. Adam Barker back out in 6th. Dantuma now up into 7th. Sorensen coming through the final section of track. Will we see him in for his stop this time? Would be the perfect time while he has that 7.25 second lead. The leader does not come to pit road this time. Yannick Gunther has had a problem back behind. Yannick has been one of, if not the fastest in race 2. No, he has a big checkup. Doling has nowhere to go. Doling manages to get back by. Yannick holds on to 3rd, but now Simon Zierk in striking distance. Team Gunther definitely one of the fastest groups in race 1, struggling in race 2. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling having an awesome morning here, currently runs in second place. And Nick Sorensen out front by over 10 seconds now. Still has to make his fuel stop. But since taking the lead has consistently pulled away. Last time by set the fastest lap of the race with a 2:03.91. We wondered if anybody would get in the 2:03s this time. Mark Dantuma has completed his fuel stop. Sorensen does not come to pit road yet. Dolling does not. Yannick Gunther is in. Simon Zierk is in. Mark Dantuma has had a problem through the S's. Oh, same thing we saw out of Max earlier. Just gets too much. Clips that barrier. Mark Dantuma tows it to pit road. Sorensen and Dolling, the last two that need to pit. Sorensen out front. Max Gunther needs to pit. And Sorensen even faster last time by 2:03.23. Can Nick Sorensen break into the 2:02s before this is all said and done? Mike Dolling still rolling in second. Max Gunther in third. The top three still need to pit. Just over 10 minutes left to go. Adam Barker out on track in fourth, battling with Yannick. Yannick gets the nose ahead as they go off into the turn. Simon Zierk still right with him. Adam Barker tries to set up another pass. He looks back down to the inside, gets a little loose, can't quite get there. Tries to set up again, can't get it. The Porsche definitely able to get off the turns better through here. Mike Dolling and Max Gunther are in pit road for their stop. Max could not make it. Now the question is, who's gonna? Oh, Adam flashing his lights at Yannick. They send it deep into the turn. Dolling comes off pit road. He is in second. But now he's going to be under attack as Yannick, Adam, Simon all right behind. Pit stops have definitely closed that lead group back up. It's going to be a dogfight to the end. Meanwhile, Sorensen a 40-second lead. Will he finally make his pit stop this time? Average pit lane time has been roughly 40 seconds. Could that pull the entire top 5 back together? Sorensen gives up the lead. He's going to come in. Now, can he get back off of pit road? With the lead, he will need the least amount of fuel here. Here comes Mike Dolling in second place. Adam Barker in third. Janet Gunther in fourth. Sorensen hits his pit box. Dolling comes down to the penultimate corner. He looks at the final turn as Sorensen is rolling off pit road. He's got a big, big lead. And Sorensen gets it done here. Dolling still closing in, but 17, 16 seconds behind. The gap from first to second now 16 seconds. Adam Barker still lingers in third, Yannick in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Max Gunther has recovered to sixth. Jason Miller in seventh. Dan Tuma out of the race in eighth. Still a great points day for Mark Dan Tuma. And what a day for Nick Sorensen. Last week, both races swept by Max Gunther. This week, it's looking like it's going to be Sorensen to sweep. Sorensen also swept at Laguna Seca. And we'll close down. We'll gain 13 points on Adam Barker today. We'll easily move into second. And we'll be just 23 points behind Adam Barker. Assuming Adam holds on to third place. Back down the front straightaway they go. Just a few more laps to go here. Adam came in today with the points lead. Looks like he's going to leave with the points lead, but is not gaining any points this morning. As the season winds down, the points battle is tightening up. A bit of a surprise to see it getting closer. Yannick Gunther came into this morning. He only raced twice earlier in the season. Came in today 15th in points. He'll gain at least one, possibly two spots here. Yannick has definitely been a force to be reckoned with all morning long. Max Gunther, who has been in the points battle all season long, currently running in 6th place. A bit of a rough morning here at COTA. And Nick Sorensen just out for a Sunday drive. In car with Sorensen as he heads down to the final turn. Let's ride a lap along with the leader. Down towards the start-finish line he goes. Up the hill on the rumble strips all the way towards turn 1. Braking as late as possible, getting all the way to the apex and back downhill toward turn 2. Into the S's. Feathering the throttle all the way through the S's here. Back uphill, down towards turn 11. Hard on the brakes, cuts it across just outside the apex and full throttle towards turn 12, down the long straightaway. Throttle as long as possible, slows up, begins into turn 12, cuts the apex perfectly. This is where the Porsche has had the advantage all morning long. All the way down into first gear, ease back onto the throttle, then full power. Feathers the throttle through some of these turns. Back to full throttle as he gets to the second to last turn. Cuts the apex, full throttle again, heads toward that final turn. Hard left turn down toward the start-finish line. Riding along with Nick, he did that lap at 2:03.69. Mike Dalling currently holds second, a 1.5 second gap on Adam Barker in third. Yannick back in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Max Gunther currently running in sixth place. Has been gaining on Simon Zierk, but not enough time left. Meanwhile, Nick Sorensen out front goes through turn 11 down that straightaway one more time. Adam Barker on in the BMW, gaining some ground on Mike Dalling here. Has the gap back down under a second. Yannick back in fourth, Simon Zierk in fifth. Ronnie Wimberly has come back out on track. Jason Miller having a great morning this morning. He's going to come home in 7th place. As Sorensen heads toward the final turn. Sorensen sees the white flag in the air one more time around. He has a 19.5 second lead over Mike Dalling. Adam Barker holds third, Yannick in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth, Max Gunther in sixth, Jason Miller seventh. Mark Dantuma out of the race in eighth, Ronnie Wimberly in ninth. Barker continuing to try and close the gap on Dalling, find a way around. As they go around one more time. Yannick Gunther in 4th place, trying to close the gap on Barker as well. Simon Zierk holding on for a top 5 here. And Sorensen heads toward the final section of track. Hits the 20-second mark. He has a 20-second lead after starting in 7th place. Avoided the chaos and just dominated. Fought his way up toward the front. Took the lead from Adam Barker and quickly began pulling away. The shortest pit stop of the morning. And here he comes. Nick Sorensen through the final turn will sweep the morning here at COTA. And celebrates down the front stretch. Mike Dolling's going to come through the second to last turn. Adam Barker right behind. Not going to have enough room to do it. Mike Dolling will come home in 2nd place and Adam Barker finishes 3rd. Yannick comes home with an impressive 4th and Simon Zierk finishing in 5th. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Adam. Holy cow. Hey, Adam, it's Doug. You got me?
How are we doing?
Hey, are you okay after that incident?
I'm all good. Hands off wheel.
That was quite a race. I know you guys had quite a battle for the lead. Looked like you just kind of lost the back end there.
Yeah, Nick was just super quick. I made a little bit of a mistake coming out of the long straight, and then he was alongside me. And yeah, just on the outside, there's a little less grip than on the inside, so I lost the rear. Unfortunately, I put, I think, 4 or 5 laps of extra fuel in, so I ended up coming back out in the pack. So that sort of messed up my my second. So I had to try and fight Mike for it at the end, but he was just a little bit too quick.
Well, man, it was an awesome battle, a great comeback after that incident, and a great race this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Adam Barker comes home in 3rd. Mike Dolling finishing in 2nd. Hey, Mike, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. How you doing?
Hey, man, pretty good. I know you were talking earlier this morning about it just has not been a good season, but, man, what a turnaround you had this morning.
Yeah, I was happy with that race. That turned out much better than I was anticipating. I think, unfortunately, me murdering Yannick did help a little, but it wasn't intentional. But yeah, I enjoyed today. It was all right. I wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to be in the booth with you halfway through the race, but it turned out better than I thought.
It definitely did, and you had some quite good battles going on there, and managed to hold off some guys. And man, when you got in there, it looked like you and Yannick really you were able to drive just so much deeper into the turn and got a great run off.
Yeah, I was quite happy with some of that. It just took me a while to get used to the track. I hadn't driven it in a while. I hadn't driven it all week, and then turned up today cold. So by the time I got into this race, I'd started to find a little bit of muscle memory, and it wasn't as painful. So I managed to keep up with Yannick. I was happy. And then I wasn't expecting to hold off Adam. I was thinking that when I came in the pits, he would come past me. But it worked out. I was happy. So, yeah, I'm happy with today. It was way better than I expected.
Well, you did an amazing job, man. Congratulations. That was a great race.
Thanks, Doug. Cheers.
And Nick Sorensen. Nick, you swept the morning in a very, very dominant fashion.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Thanks, yeah.
I have to say, a 20-second lead when you crossed the start-finish line at the end there was that was probably the most impressive, considering everything you came through to get to the lead.
Yep, it was. Happy about that. Just had to stay patient there in the beginning, and then wait my time, pick my spot to get around Simon and Adam, and it all worked out.
I have to say, the one of the things I noticed, you had the fastest pit stop of anybody in the field and the shortest time on pit lane as well by quite a bit. definitely paid off, as it looked like some of those guys might gain a little bit on you on pit road.
Yeah, I just let my crew chief pick how much gas, so he put in the right amount.
Well, it worked out perfectly. A dominant morning. You'll pull up into second in points and close a rather big gap on Adam this morning.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just happy about being up there near the top. And at the end of the season, we'll see where the off weeks, the drop weeks shake out, and hopefully be right up there for a chance at the win.
Well, congratulations, man. Your second sweep of the season. Great job, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. See you next time.
Nick Sorensen sweeps for the second time this season and dominantly here at COTA. Don't forget to tune in tonight. BRR Cup Series is back, and that promises to be an exciting race as always. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you tonight. Have a great day.